Greetings, Westover. Here is your final community update of 2014. Please safeguard your information on your social media sites. There is a real threat out there. Malicious use of personal information is happening more and more. Check your settings and remain vigilant. Angel Tree gifts are due back on Saturday, December 6th by noon. The Airmen and Family Readiness Center will distribute the gifts on Sunday as the program comes to a close for the season. The Westover Small Arms Range is off limits to unauthorized personnel. Please contact the law enforcement desk if you are looking to gain access. Trespassing is both illegal and dangerous. The Westover Consolidated Club will be offering a holiday meal on Sunday the 7th. Following tradition, group and squadron commanders will dish out the feast to their troops. Eat and be merry. The Public Affairs Office is going green. The paper form of our monthly magazine, The Patriot, is no more. We will continue to produce a monthly full-color publication that can be accessed via our website. Check us out online at our website or on Facebook, or you can contact us by phone at 557-2020. This year's Children's Holiday Party is set to have a frozen winter wonderland theme. The base hangar will host a winter carnival with some special guests to include Santa and Mrs. Claus from 11 to 1:30. Don't forget to register your kids through the Airmen and Family Readiness Center. That's all for this month. On behalf of the Public Affairs staff, I would like to wish you all a safe and happy holidays. And as always, thanks for watching.
Master Sergeant Andrew Biscoe with the 439th Airlift Wing Public Affairs Office, and today's guest we have here is Colonel Rick Tubbs. He's the Vice Commander for the 439th Airlift Wing. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, Andrew.
Colonel Tubbs joined our wing in July of 2014. He comes to us from Travis Air Force Base, California, a much larger Air Force base with many more C-5s. We have several questions for him this morning as we interview him about his job here as the Vice Commander. Sir, what drove you to complete ROTC and become an officer in the Air Force?
Yeah, you bet. It was a lifelong dream. I wanted to be an astronaut as a young boy. I remember in third grade seeing an artistic drawing of the space shuttle, and I said, I want to do that. So as I grew older, it's like, how do I get there? Well, you go to the Air Force, okay, and be a pilot. Okay, so how do you do that? Well, you go to ROTC. So that's why I went to ROTC, and so far the rest is history.
And during any part of your career, have you thought about ever getting out of the military? If so, why? Or have you decided that this is the thing you want to do for all your life?
Sure, and as a reservist, I was active duty for a little over 8 years, and so I made that transition, and it really was a family decision. I loved serving my country. I loved being in the Air Force, but I loved my family. And as things moved on, the active duty military was asking more of me than I was willing to give in balance with taking care of my family. And that's a personal decision.
Right.
So I left and went right across the street at Travis from the 22nd, flying C-5s, to the 301st Squadron, Airlift Squadron, flying C-5s, and was very happy. And I will be very honest, in August of 2001, when I was flying my airline job, and then I'd have to take time off to fly with the reserves, and really at that time during our history, I was really just hauling household goods around the Pacific and, taking the latest CBT or whatever class. And I started to once again question, is this time away from my family worth it? And I considered getting out in August of 01. Well, as we all know, 9/11 occurred less than a month later, so sometimes procrastination is good. So 9/11 occurred, and all of a sudden my reserve job took on a whole new meaning and had, of course, dramatic importance to what I was doing, to where now I have done more Air Force work than civilian work over the last 13 years, taking large amounts of time off from my reserve duty. And, now I'm your vice commander, which is still a little crazy to me. But, so at one time I did. But what we do in the reserves is vitally important to our country and ultimately to our families. And the sense of purpose I've had since 9/11 has really offset the sacrifice that I've had to give, and so happy that I stayed. And now they're pretty much going to have to kick me out. So no looking back.
What's the most important aspect of the reserve in terms of its support to the active duty Air Force?
The reserve brings so much. So to try to pick one in particular piece is difficult. But to do that, I would say the best thing we bring is efficiency, is cost effectiveness. The fact that we bring experience and expertise and people who can do the job, do it at a very high level at anywhere from 1/10 to 1/2 the cost, about an average of 1/6 of the cost as an active duty person. We need our active duty folks. You can't have a complete reserve military, right? We need the rapid response. We need people living overseas, all the things that active duty does that we don't. You need that. But to have a robust force, a force that's large enough to meet the demands that the world presents us, and to do it in a cost-effective way, the reserves answer that very well and allow our country to meet its needs in an affordable way. So cost-effectiveness is, I think, the top benefit of the reserves.
As Vice Commander of one of the Reserve's largest units, us here, what difference do you hope to make in guiding this enormous wing we have here? We have 2,500 reservists.
Yeah, and it's a great wing, by the way, an awesome wing. Reputation preceded Westover before I got here, and as I get here, I discover just more and more how great this wing is. So what I want to do as your vice wing commander is take care of the people. If I take care of you, you're going to take care of the mission as you have. And that's my number one priority. What can I do to make sure you're taken care of so you can do your job? As I see Westover and its excellence in so many different categories, I want to make sure I take care of, I protect, and help keep the things that Westover's doing great, and spread that, which we're already doing, but be that advocate to where Westover leads the way. I want the Air Force to follow. So there's some very important things for my job over the next few years, however long I am blessed to be here, that I think I can do as your vice wing commander. I'm really looking forward to doing it for you. Some people are going to be displaced. Their
Right.
positions are going away.
Right.
So we need to place those people who are displaced. That's first priority in this transition. The other thing is with this base being so large and so much potential here, and this is just Rick Tubbs talking, I see potential to bring something else here. Whether we go gobble up some more C5s or another mission, there's lots of new missions coming out with the new tanker and things like that. And again, I'm not spreading rumors. I'm just saying with 8 C5s disappearing, for me, there seems to be room to put something in that spot. And if I can find something, advocate something, I'd like to see more C5s come
Well, was there anything else you wanted to add as our still somewhat new vice commander here?
Yeah, like I said, Westover is a great place with great people doing great things, and I am proud and honored to be a part of that, and I consider it my responsibility and my heart's desire to ensure that I'm a part of making that future for Westover reflect its past in leaders and excellence. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Colonel Tubbs, thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
I'm Senior Airman Hutchinson here at the Dog Patch, where we got the 439th Civil Engineering Squadron erecting the Alaska tent. It was previously taken down by the 439th Services Squadron, and it's a joint task here at the Dog Patch today.
Tech Sergeant Randall Bell. I'm from the FSS service side. Today we're at the Dog Patch and we're putting up our brand new SSS tent. We had MPF come out here to get trained on it. As far as service sides, we do this about every other year. But now that we have our SSS tent, we're going to probably do this about 2 years. And it was a great weekend. It was good training. Some of us have not put this up at all, and some of us have. So some people are well aware of what they're doing, and for the newbies, they got some pretty good training. When this is taken down, we're gonna have C. They're gonna come in, and they're gonna put put it up and erect it for their training, and so that way they can get signed off as well. This is actually a nice combined joint mission going on here. It's we also fed the CE. We had to put up our spec tent. It was pretty good. It was a good weekend. Of course, I'm sure during the future we'll probably work with more units that also need this kind of training and get their field training requirements checked off on. So hopefully, in the future we'll work with other units that may need that.
It seems to be going quite well for their training. For all you airmen out there, aim high.
Westover family, it's that time of year again. That time of year where there's snow and evergreen trees, lots of lights, and, well, everyone seems to be celebrating something. For Christians, this season of the year for centuries has been known as Advent, literally the time of waiting. And it's interesting because if you think about it, we're all waiting on something around this time, whether it be the new year or a celebration. And I just want to challenge you for a minute that think about what it is you're waiting on this season, because what we wait on, what we celebrate, is often a large indicator of what we worship. Because we all have something that holds that supreme authority in our lives, you know. Whether your God is a big G God or you've turned something little in your life, maybe your family, maybe your job or whatever, into a little G God. All of us at this time of year are waiting and celebrating something. So I just want to encourage you that if you are around Westover during the week, we are going to have every Tuesday throughout the month of December at noon here in the chapel, Advent services. And if you're familiar with those things, Advent is the time of year where we count down weekly the remaining weeks until Jesus was born. And we light candles. And so if you're familiar with the Advent celebration, the Advent calendars, come join us. If you're not and you're just curious, we'd love to kind of add that to how you pursue God. And finally, you know, if this is one of those times of year where you just kind of find yourself wanting a little bit more, maybe there's a hole in your heart or a hole in your life where you're just kind of like, something's missing. This is a great time to come check out, because that something missing is the linchpin that brings everything else together. And I would love to help you explore and journey with you in that. So God bless you. Happy holidays. And from the Zimmerman family to you, Merry Christmas.
Beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains, majesties above the fruited plains. America, America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
I have these little raised. That's some money in weddings and stuff. You get yourself a little videographer, and, you know, like you with somebody else to go take weddings. Gotta get back up there. Don't take life right here.
An October 4th event that took the better part of a year to plan turned out to be a party to remember, with a curtain call befitting Command Chief Master Sergeant David Carbon, who retires in November. In the words of 439th Airlift Wing Commander Colonel Albert Lupinski, the 75th anniversary military ball truly felt like a tailored honor to be a part of, especially after the Colonel recently took the helm of the Patriot Wing. 1 month after taking command, boy, it was really nice of the Chief to throw me this big party, the commander quipped. 75 years in the making, the Diamond Jubilee anniversary of the base was appropriately flanked by military history, both of the static and living varieties. A vast display of Westover historic memorabilia transformed part of the base hangar into a pop-up museum with military artifacts from members of Westover's family, as well as museum-quality pieces brought by the wing's very own historian, Master Sergeant Joseph Gluckert, who also happens to be the historian at the Portsmouth Naval Shipyard in New Hampshire. More than 650 military and civilian guests converged on the base hangar on the chilly, wet October 4th evening, lining the flight line in an extremely rare sight of rows and rows of parked cars. They entered the hangar through the rear double doors and were greeted with silken curtains, carpets, linens, and many other items lining the hangar's entrance. Music, both played and performed, reverberated through the hangar, including performances by a cellist, Lieutenant Colonel Patrick Dufresne, his daughter Carolyn, who played trombone, and vocalist Senior Airman Heather Wilson's powerful national anthem rendition. Staff Sergeant Walter LaHare provided modern and classic music selections. The sounds and sights contrasted the huge hangar's usual austerity. A queue of hosts pulled up seat numbers on computers and dispersed the attendants in an orderly fashion into a sea of blue tables adorned with flowers, silver-wrapped chocolates, plates, and silverware. A stemless wine glass with Westover 75th Anniversary Ball stenciled in script was the parting gift. History seemed the primary theme of the evening, as well as camaraderie, as retirees mingled with active reservists and civilians, creating a well-dressed field of blue and gold, black and other various colored suits and gowns. Looking out on the throng, guest speaker Brigadier General Udo McGregor thanked everyone for coming and then pointed to a boisterous table of wingmen and friends. "That's my heckling section," said the former Westover Operations Group Commander, after which describing his tour at the Patriot Wing as most memorable because of the laughs and good times. Back then I might have been focused on inspections and the mission, the general said, but looking back now, all I remember are the funny things and the fun times we had here at Westover.
Hey, you might be wondering where you can go on Westover to get some help, to just kind of what are the helpers out there. I'd like to introduce you to several people around that are there and just kind of help you know where's a good place to go, what's some good things to know, and how much can I say? Because you know, a lot of us when we're going through hard stuff, I'm not sure what I want to share. So I want to introduce you to some friends of mine that know what's going on and help you understand where to go and how much you can say to each individual.
Hi, my name is Michelle Sanders and I'm the Director of Psychological Health here at Westover. I'm a licensed clinical social worker and a licensed chemical dependency counselor. My job here is to help people with psychological, mental, and emotional problems. Things like that might be if you're dealing with a divorce, stress, anger management, depression, anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorder, any type of family problem or personal problem. My location is at the clinic where you get your physicals at the AMDS building, and there are some limits to the things that I can keep private and confidential because I'm licensed. The things that I can't keep confidential are if you're suicidal or if you're thinking about harming somebody else, if there's domestic violence or child abuse involved, or if you have a major addiction and you're about to deploy. Besides all those life and death things, I can keep everything else private and confidential. You can come to me individually, you can even call me on the phone, and if there's something that you need that I'm unable to help you with, I'll get you connected to somebody in the community near where you live.
Hello, my name is Tamara Thompson. I'm the Sexual Assault Response Coordinator, better known as the SARC. I can be located in the Airmen and Family Readiness Building, right near the chaplain. My extension is 413-557-3862. Communication with me is confidential except for if you tell me you're going to hurt yourself or hurt someone else. Please give me a call with any questions you have regarding sexual assault and reporting options. Currently, I'm looking for victim advocates. If you're interested or want to know more information, please don't hesitate to contact me.
My name is Lieutenant Colonel Donald Gomes. I am the Director of Equal Opportunity at Westover, and we're here to talk about confidentiality. First of all, the EO office does not have any confidentiality at all. The exceptions to that policy is when a civilian brings a complaint forward, they can remain anonymous through the informal process. If they choose to, after that, go through the formal process, their confidentiality, there's no more confidentiality. And also during the alternative dispute resolution or ADR, where a complainant brings a complaint and they want to mediate a complaint, that remains confidential even through the court systems. If you would like further clarification or have any questions about EO confidentiality, please don't hesitate to come by our office and call me at 557-3225.
The mission of your Airmen and Family Readiness Center is to provide airmen and their families support and services contributing to mission readiness, resiliency, and the well-being of the base community. Some of the services provided by the Airmen and Family Readiness Center team is personal financial management, employment assistance, Air Force aid for members in times of emergency financial need, and family life education. Your Airmen and Family Readiness Center is located on 100 Walker Avenue in Building 1100. And our hours of operation are from 8 to 1600 Monday through Friday, from 8 to 1600 on Saturdays of the A and B UTA, and from 9 to 1500 on Sunday of the AUTA. Thank you.
All right, hello everyone. My name is Shanna King and I'm with the Airmen and Family Readiness Center here just to talk to you a bit about our confidentiality. We do not have 100% privileged communication in our office. If you do come into our office and you are referred there by a supervisor, first sergeant or commander, we may discuss the general particulars of your appointment with them. We will not disclose any intimate details that you shared with us. We'll leave that for you. When in our office, if you do disclose that you're going to hurt yourself or others, or you disclose or we suspect child abuse or domestic violence, we do have to report that to the appropriate authorities. Otherwise, anything that happens in our office is on a need-to-know basis only, so feel free to come in and talk to us about any of your issues, and hopefully we can help you out. Thank you and have a great day.
Your base chapel team can provide all kinds of things. We have both enlisted and officers that can provide counseling and advice and coaching across the spectrum. Everything from finances to spiritual things, marriage, parenting. We're here to just say, hey, that might be a good idea or that might not be a good idea. The interesting thing about your chapel team is we are the only place on base that is absolutely 100% confidential. What I mean by that is you can tell us anything. You can come in and tell us that everything is going great. You can say it's not going so great. You can say you're struggling with this. You can even tell us, unfortunately, things that you do that may or may not even be legal, that could be harmful. And we sit and look at you and we help you and guide you through that without ever sharing that secret. Because when you come and talk to your base chapel team, when we say confidential, it truly is confidential. What I mean is you hold that. The confidentiality privilege remains yours. For us to even say anything, if you were to want us to share anything, we actually have to have a signed statement from you. We can't be brought before a commander. We can't be brought before a court-martial, an Article 15 procedure, anything like that. When you come talk to a chaplain or one of the chapel team, it is absolutely confidential. There is a thing to know. If you were to come talk to one of our chaplain assistants, they do have a limited span of confidentiality, and they know where they have to say, hey, time out, let me take you to one of the chaplains. But when you walk in the doors to our offices, know that it's a safe space. You can come tell us, you can come share with us, you can even say, hey, I need some help coaching a friend, and we would love to walk through that with you. So you got to be thinking, okay, that sounds like a good idea, but where are you? Well, if you come right inside James Street Gate, if you know where the USO building is, if you know where the Airman Family Readiness is located, if you know where the computer lab is, we are in that exact same building. Coming inside the James Street Gate, if you look to the right, you'll see building 1100. It's the old World War II building, the oldest one on base. It's that one. It's the one that doesn't look like anything else. Come see us. We'd love to hang out with you. And remember, we are here for you, to coach you, to celebrate with you, to guide you, and to listen, because we're here to help you. So come share your life with us, and we'd love to do life with you. Thanks. Come see your chaplain and team.
This is a Westover Look Back. I'm Master Sergeant Andrew Biscoe. Well, Westover's been here since 1939, and a lot of people pay attention to the history of the base. Specifically about 5 years ago, when a group of folks got together and decided that it was important to commemorate the history of the base by placing 5 models of historic airplanes that once flew at Westover. The one behind me is one of them. It is a KC-135 Stratotanker. This airplane is a replica of an actual KC-135 that flew out of here during Westover's Strategic Air Command era. On June 27, 1958, number 563630 flew out of Westover to New York to London to break a transatlantic speed record, along with one other KC-135A. Both aircraft were assigned to the 99th Air Refueling Squadron here at Westover during its SAC heyday, where Headquarters 8th Air Force was the lead chain of command at the base. Important to note also is that this airplane, number 563630, was flown by Major Burl Davenport, who was the aircraft commander, again with the 99th Air Refueling Squadron here at the base. 3630 was originally going to be part of 4 airplanes that were part of Operation Topsail, Strategic Air Command's massive effort to show the world the capabilities of the then new KC-135 Stratotanker. Of the 4 airplanes, only 2 got off the ground to break the speed record. The third one crashed here just off the runway at Westover in neighboring Chicopee Falls on June 27th. All 15 people aboard the airplane were killed, including a 1-star general, Brigadier General Donald Saunders. The 4th airplane was ordered to stay on the ground after the accident that claimed the lives of those 15 airmen and newsmen that were along for the ride to record that moment of history in aeronautics and aviation. The 2 airplanes that were in the lead carried on and did break the transatlantic speed record and returned to Westover the next day. They were part of the 99th Air Refueling Squadron, which was one of 2 air refueling squadrons here at the base, the other being the 384th, which flew KC-97 tankers, which were propeller-driven older airplanes that were the first airplanes to land here on April 20th, 1955, the same month that SAC took over operations here at Westover. SAC concluded operations at Westover in 1974, handing the keys over to the Air Force Reserve.
I'm Master Sergeant Andrew Biscoe from the 439th Airlift Wing Public Affairs Office, but we're here today at the isochronal inspection dock with Master Sergeant Joseph Whalen. He is a 439th Maintenance Group Quality Assurance Inspector, and today he is telling us about what latest gadget they have, and it's more than just a gadget, it's actual real asset to your operation here.
Yeah, absolutely is. This is the Joint Engineering Disposition Infrastructure. It allows us to collaborate real time with an engineer if we have anything that's beyond our tech data scope, that we can put a request in, get them on here, see it live, and they can give us a repair, tell us whether it's worthy of a flight or not, and then we can get the plane back to who it has to get back to.
And I understand this is a pretty new thing. You've had it here only since May?
Yeah, we had it here since May. We were the first base to receive the unit. Since we've got it, it's helped immensely. We've had several dispositions come back within several hours.
And tell us about one example that you've done with this to show how much it expedites things.
Well, we had a crack on a particular engine like this one that wasn't in the tech data, wasn't in the repair area, so we called back, got engineering on there. Will there be an engine drop or change? They determined it wasn't as bad for a change, and we was able to fly to home station.
And this particular engine today, this is not an engine that you guys know normally is a C5 engine. This is a C5M, I understand?
Yes, this is the new model. This is the higher, more efficient engines, more power, better fuel efficiency.
And how is it that the maintenance workers get to work on these too? Because we just had the B models here.
Well, this is the ISO dock. All the C5s, whether they are at whatever base they're at, they'll come here for the minor ISOs, and that's what we take care of here, the minor infrastructure ISOs. So the men here are up to date with all the new models, and this engine, I don't think it has only like 1,550 cycles on this particular model.
Yeah, it does look very new. Yeah. And I understand, too, that with this Jedi equipment, that Westover was the test bed for this equipment.
Yeah, well, like I said, we were the first unit to receive it. And since then, other bases have seen how fast we've gotten some things done. And, of course, now there's a demand for the unit.
Yeah, and I wanted to highlight it. That's why I mentioned that again, because the maintainers have this Air Force-wide reputation here at Westover, and it's just another feather in their caps. Well, your caps.
Oh, absolutely. We pride ourselves on doing things here faster and better. And that's the name of the game.
How will this impact when you folks get the new C5Ms here, or is that too far out to look at right now? Is this
all maintenance is compacted by this. You can just get the engineering's in there to see it faster and to get a verbal to actually see what's going on. It's real time. They can give us the okay. Go ahead and please, fix this, or they'll draw right on the camera itself the repair that's required, and we can start on it immediately. So whether it's out on our planes or the planes in here in ISO, very effective.
And there's anything else you wanted to add about this huge new, relatively new asset that you have here?
No, it's one of the things the Air Force pays for. This is one that really does work. I have to hand it to them. This is an excellent idea.
Well, Master Sergeant Whalen and I were just over at the ISO dock, and that was then. This is now. Now we're back in the QA office with Sergeant Whalen. Show us what we have here now after we've been over at the ISO dock.
Okay, this is a video we took down on the engine earlier, and you can see the points we brought up here. Set that right on it. Again, this is live, and we would send this video down to engineering, and they would view the whole thing.
So we can circle the area.
And that's a video.
So the engineers know exactly what we're looking at.
Now, who's doing the circling? That's back here in QA?
That's actually back on the camera at the site. We took the film. Engineering can zoom out. They'll take photographs as they need.
Yeah, perfect, right there.
As you can see there, he's saying that he wanted it in video, he wanted it in focus.
That is an amazing micro lens, is what I think we, in the PA world at least, what we would call, because you can really see that.
Oh yeah, it'll go much further than that. You can actually see the pores in the metal. This all goes to the archive, the aircraft tail number.
And the biggest thing about this again is the fact that if you don't get a certain angle, you can go back out. You can redo it in live time, but not have to go back, download the pictures like you used to have to do.
Right, they can just go over the film footage, see if there's anything in there. Usually we'll have a crack. They might see something on here that they might want a closer look at, and then we'll go out and refilm that. Again, it gets information real time, back and forth.
Now, how often are you using this beyond state-of-the-art stuff that you got here?
So far, it's been every other ISO. Sometimes we'll use it 3 or 4 times in ISO, depending on what it is. We recently had a wiring issue come up, and the engineers were here, and they wanted to talk with engineers that were down there to show them what they were going through on I believe it was a part that was warranted.
I mean, you get planes in ISO that are from not just our planes, but the Kelly, or Lackland, I should say.
Yeah.
Lackland and Dover and Travis too.
Yes. Oh yeah. Well, you never know what's going to come up. This is a new model M engine, so anything we do with this, we're going to go through engineering on. We have the guys that are up to speed on these, but there's a lot of stuff that's warranted work, there's a lot of stuff in maintenance they can't perform on these, so we're going to ask for authorization to work on this particular motor. We're going to go right to engineering. And I believe this one's from Dover.
Okay.
Yeah. We have also used it on our planes on the flight line.
We couldn't have been able to broadcast this story today without the very generous time given to us by the QA staff, so thank you, Sergeant Whalen. Appreciate it.
Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant Maddox at the Fitness Center. We're asking that anybody who's PT testing please arrive 15 minutes prior and have the proper paperwork. That is a fitness screening questionnaire, and if necessary, an Air Force Form 422 or 469. Thank you.
The first topic is mentoring, and I'm going to give you my story. As the Colonel said, in 1990, I joined the military. I was 29 years old. My plan was to use the GI Bill, go to college, and end my commitment after 6 years. The Air Force was not going to be part of my career. However, a supervisor recognized some potential in me, such as the way I interacted with the higher-ranking members, even though they were younger than me. He mentored me about the benefits of the reserves, and with some encouragement, he he basically talked me into staying. Over the next couple of years, I noticed that a number of unit members were being promoted before me. I didn't know why, so I asked the question. Please be aware when you ask the question to be ready for the answer, and I don't think I was ready for the answer. I was basically told I was doing just enough to get by. Those are tough words when you think that you are the best at what you're doing. After I got over my anger and my shock, I realized my supervisor was right. I was just doing enough to get by. So through continuing mentoring from my supervisors and friends, I changed my attitude and my dedication to the Air Force. Around 1999, year 2000, my wife noticed that the military became very important to me. She says I talk more about the military than I do my civilian job, and I truly enjoy my civilian job. But because of my mentors, my goals in the military began to change, and my mentors were there to help me achieve those goals. To all my mentors, and you all know who you are, thank you for seeing something in me that I could not see. Without your foresight, I would not be here today. Our future are our young airmen. Airmen, just a piece of advice that was given to me. Complete all your coursework, your CDCs, your PMEs. Get all your boxes checked, your tasks completed, and check off so you're ready to be promoted. If something's not going the way you think it should go, ask the question, but be prepared for that answer. It may not be the one you want to hear. NCOs and senior NCOs, go to the leadership courses. Learn new leadership methods, techniques, continue to learn and continue to mentor our airmen.